is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
Good morning, TFR.
Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the planet. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
Well, pitter patter, let's get at her.
And a happy Tuesday to you all. Welcome to the Ironworx right here, Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. Man, I'm just sleepy this morning. I've had my whole weekend's been thrown off because I had 4 days off. This is my last day off. And everything's just been goofy because I've not been keeping up with a set schedule. So I don't know. I'm sleepy. I'm tired, but we are here. If nothing else, ain't that right, fellas?
We're here.
That is
okay. Sorta here. Sorta here. Yeah. I'm sorry, Zach. Please, if you have things that your mouth can do, let them.
I was just going to say, like an idiot, I had drank a coffee at like 8 o'clock last night, not even remembering it was Monday night.
It was Sunday all day for me because Shell was home. So for me, when Shell's home and I know she has to work tomorrow, it's Sunday for the last, forever. So yeah, it messed me up too.
But I made it.
But we're here.
We are here.
Yeah, we are here. I know y'all don't believe it, but we are. We don't believe it, but we are.
Did you guys do anything for your slave day?
I stayed in my house most of that day and helped Michelle straighten up her yarn. Got her a nice shelf for yarn.
It could be a pain in the butt.
It is very much so. I'm sure you know, sir, how to keep it organized and accessible and not tangled and not everywhere. And cats, they do like yarn. It's not a myth. It's not just in the cartoons. They love it. So, in fact, our mom cat tends to eat it, like literally chew it and try to swallow it. She is insane. When she gets a stuffed toy down and really starts going at it, she's dismembering it. There are entrails everywhere where she gets through with the stuffed animal. So, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. How about you, Josh? Did you and Dixie go out over the weekend?
No. We went over to her folks last night real quick just for dinner, but that was about it. That's about the extent of what we did.
What did you guys do over there, Zach?
Nothing much. They like to light off lots of fireworks around here. So,
usually the family does as well. That's what we actually finished up today, is going over to the grandkids once everybody was up for the day that had to work that night, etc. So we went over there in the evening after it cooled off and just kind of hung out. And literally, I was shocked. Rarely does she not drag me outside or go out to the backyard or cane field, somewhere to run around and do something, kites, etc. But she was all about inside. Like yesterday, we were building Legos, and she gave me a painting that she made. In fact, I'll take a photo of that and let you guys see it here in a minute. It's quite awesome. The rainbow house that she made for herself.
yeah, and it wasn't like Bob and Cammy or the household that does fireworks. It's just people around here. It's insane.
Yeah, it was really shocking, the lack. I guess people maybe were sick of the lie, maybe. I don't know, because I'm usually like, it's usually all into the late hours, hectic, even though here we're not legally supposed to do it. Everybody heads out to the, to the levee, and it's right there, and you hear it all night long. And really, early in the evening, I heard a few. Towards 8-ish, I heard a couple more, and then nothing really, not anything excessive. But it was a little round about 7 or 8 that the cats kind of were like, "Hey, what the hell's all this about? That's not thunder." But other than that, I was shocked by the lack thereof here.
Yeah, they were going off pretty good here, and I had Hank and Minion and all cuddled up. Minion was, man, you should have seen him jump up in Bob's arms yesterday. It was hilarious. He had enough. It was like, 8 o'clock at night, and I asked him, "You want to come down?" And he ran up to Bob and just started jumping. He was like, pick me up. Poor little things. Yeah, Hank's kind of getting used to it, but he doesn't like them.
Sensitive to it than cats in general. I know my dog's always freaked out, and the cats just kind of were like looking up, like, "Hey, what the hell?" But they weren't like, in that terror pose of
shaking,
like something's coming and freaking like cat dogs. I've seen my dogs lose it, man. Yeah.
How'd the rabbit do, Josh?
She did surprisingly well. I was shocked at how little response we got out of her. Dogs were a little, our dogs are always a little bit goofy on this holiday. But we noticed the same, that there was a surprising lack of fireworks, especially compared to last year. Which were just
right.
Absolutely insane listening to them roll down through the valleys and just echoing everywhere. It was just this huge cacophony of booms and percussions. It was just very manic. I remember being last year. This year, it was relatively quiet. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think there's that patriotic buzz in the air anymore this year.
You don't have everybody being forced to wear masks, feeling a need to make themselves heard.
Are they still doing masks by you?
No, but last year they were, when the fireworks were
only a
extra
select
loud.
Group of people tend to be maskers in my local area here in South Louisiana.
I see maybe one mask a day going out, a couple times. I might see one at the grocery store.
Right, that's where I see it, at the grocery store or at the box store. And it's usually, like I say, just a couple of 5, maybe 6. They've usually got the kids all the way down to the babies masked up with some matching bejeweled type accoutrement. So they all match, I guess. You want to match if you're going to submit, I suppose. Or at least signal your submission if you want everybody to know that you have bowed down fully and can stay with that as long as you want to. And fuck normalcy. I guess I don't get it at this point, really, what they're trying to virtue signal about at this point anymore. I really don't get it.
They're virtues.
I've seen a few on bikes go by. Saw a guy yesterday, literally with rubber gloves still on. That's the first time I've seen that in about a year and a half. I was like, whoa, he might really be infected. So let's get to the other side of the store. He was in full, attack mode. But otherwise, it's very limited to it. Like I said, just very few people here who are hardcore signaling to somebody.
About something.
About something.
Just like doubling down on your education. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. And I don't know why I want to defend this, but I fucking paid for it, so I think I better.
That could be it. They're just like, hey, will you fuck this shit up? Let's do it.
Yeah, I can't have been wrong. I was as passionate as I was. I can't have been wrong. Everybody else is wrong. I'm still right, even if I'm the only motherfucker wearing a mask and gloves. That's because I can't be wrong. Big shout out there to everybody in chat.
I was just about to start typing.
I see you there, Erica. I believe she has kicked off a version of a flat earth coin cryptocurrency.
I saw that talked about a bit when I went back in Friday's chat, but I couldn't really get there, and it was, a lot going on with the show. And then I saw it mentioned here, so someone help me out. What's going on?
I'm not entirely sure. I do remember Aaron Krishak about 5-6 years ago started a flat earth coin as well, which I think has gone to the wayside. He had the iron coin and the flat earth coin both. I had several 100 million flat earth coins at one point.
Yeah, at one point. I believe you and I both were quite wealthy in the earth coins and the iron coins. But yeah, when I last checked it, which has been years ago, it had evaporated apparently.
Yeah. Keeping to reach out to Aaron. I should see him on Facebook just on occasion.
That would be a good thing to do. Find out what's he up to. See if he's taking any more amazing photographs like the moon over Mount Hood that I still see pop up on my desktop, shuffle, and go, man, that's an awesome photo. You guys may not know about it. I'll show it to you. I'll put it in the show commentary. Description, along with my granddaughter's lovely painting of herself in a purple dress in her house that's got rainbows for the roof. It's pretty awesome.
That is awesome. Yep, I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I think
all right, y'all. Thank y'all.
We'll just
early day,
completely
early
spent.
Night. Hey, there's a message telling us all about it. You guys should go over there and check it out. Let me go do that as well. What? I just saw the man himself, Alan Holman. What's up, brother?
Liz, the Iron Maiden, making it mostly on time this morning.
Shout out, Liz. Yeah, no, I've been looking at politics a little bit more lately just because there's something weird going on.
In politics?
I don't know if they screwed up on the left so bad that they're losing so many of their constituents that they needed. So, the Supreme Court has made some moves recently that are just like unprecedented out of nowhere. The whole Roe versus Wade, the shutting down New York's gun laws. There was another one the Supreme Court did recently. I forget what it is. But yeah, it's just weird. They're saying that what was the phrase used? The Supreme Court is it's
stupid, confused, fucking yeah. I'm trying to help.
No, like a word for like almost like revolutionary. Like they're being what's the word? I'm sorry, my brain's just not working.
I don't know. I can't. It won't even come together in my head. I can't put those two areas of my brain together. Congress and revolutionary. It doesn't spark any words that work.
Yeah, Biden, he came out and said something about them being like almost like anti-government. One of those things. Radical. That's it. They've been radicalized because they don't want to follow every word I say. And it's just weird. They're not letting Biden pass executive. I mean, we have been on an executive order just. I mean, when I was young, you didn't hear about executive orders trying to pass new laws. That wasn't something that the president really did all that much. I mean, executive orders were for changing the White House drapes and crap like that. And now all of a sudden, when Obama came in, there it is, executive order this and executive order that, and we're going to just change all the laws with executive orders. And now it seems like, I don't know, it's weird. It's almost like I want to let my guard down a little bit, but that little voice inside my head is like, no, things are not getting better yet. I don't know. It's weird. I think they're just doing it to bolster up the left. You know, the whole Roe versus Wade, the gun control stuff, the vaccine mandate thing that they just shot down. I think that was the Senate, though. I'm not sure. But yeah, it seems like everything's going to the right now. And I think the left is losing a base. And we know how the archons like everything to be like, you know, divide and conquer. So you can't have one side that's like winning. It's always got to be kind of equal. I don't know. I just see the left way overstep their bounds the last couple years. And now I see the right starting to creep back a little bit. Like, hey, we need to pull it back to the right a little bit because we're getting too many righties. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
The question is, do you think they'll give up that ground? There was a time a couple hundred years ago, I think, when one side saw themselves losing ground and saw everything sort of falling apart and decided that they'd just issue a few executive orders and send the military down across the Mason-Dixon line to invade the South to pull some congressmen back up to D.C. to make sure that they could continue on with the government. Now, mind you, there's a lot of people out there that are going to argue that invasion was really about human rights. They'll say it's about slavery. But really, what it boils down to is about states' rights and the government, the federal government being impotent and not being able to exert itself on the South, and then therefore needing to invade. Scary part is I see a real strong correlation between that and what's going on today with something that could be argued is a human right and being abdicated by the federal government. Not on us. You guys figure it out. And don't start a civil war when you do, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really about states' rights because that's what the federal government's made it, saying it's not our decision. And you have all these women up in arms saying, but we want the federal government to make our decisions. And the federal government saying, look, we don't get to tell you what to do in this regard. We're only the federal government. Which makes perfect sense to me. That's right. Get rid of Roe versus Wade. Get the cannabis off the scheduled narcotics list. Get your fucking hands out of everything. Back the fuck up off of everything. We don't need you except for a handful of things. Beyond
like
that,
if we get invaded, then we need you.
Right. We don't need 50 different currencies trying to be used from state to state. We'll have you do one. Maybe it need not be the Federal Reserve note, but
that's silver and gold again.
Even these days, is it really all that necessary? How much cash do you guys see people using these days? I've noticed even myself, who wanted to consciously use cash for as long as I could, almost never use cash.
I use cash quite a bit. Just saying.
So don't let them.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say, don't let them get you all
know.
riled up and thinking that there's going to be another civil war. It doesn't have
No,
to be
nothing
us
like
versus
that.
them. It's everybody against the people that want to consolidate power. If they're trying to consolidate power, those are the bad guys. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I think the Federal Reserve needs an audit. I don't think they've ever been audited.
Zach, that's exactly the type of language that is going to get somebody invaded and a civil war to kick off, because they're going to need to distract everybody from the idea of auditing the Federal Reserve, and they will do anything to keep that from happening, up to and including, I would imagine, kicking off a civil war. Because again, they can just do the same thing. We'll invest in both sides. That way we clean up no matter what happens on a war that we started to avoid us being audited, and we'll just keep making money hand over fists and let the plebes kill each other. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even saw an article. Somebody actually called out the Fed a little bit. Not really. I think it was more of a, the Fed seems to have overshot their bounds on the amount of money they're printing and the rise in inflation that it would cause. Really? I mean, it's pretty simple, basic math. If I have this much backing up my currency and I have this much currency, okay, if I triple my currency, what happens to it without tripling the amount backing it up? My currency becomes worth less.
By a third.
It's that simple. They know exactly what they're doing. I can't believe that somebody would write that article like they made a mistake. No, they didn't make a mistake. They've been doing this for over a decade. How do you do that for over a decade? Make a mistake. It's just there's all these bubbles that they've been filling up. They can't fill anymore. There's no more room. They are just throwing money pretty much into the federal government to make jobs. The federal government is one of the biggest job producers in this country.
Yes. Between its actual employees and contractors? Yes.
Yeah.
By far.
That is a problem. By way far.
And most of those contractors are doing the shit that I do. It's all cogs in that military industrial complex.
700.
All that shit just for the military.
Yep. $750 billion a year. That puts NASA's budget to shame. Bad. Like, gee, that's well over tenfold. What is that? That's like over 30-fold what NASA gets. It's like almost $2 billion a day. In 2 weeks, they spend more than NASA does in a year. And NASA does what? 64 million a day? Can you imagine if we put that money towards something that wasn't to kill other people or to lie to them and make them believe in imaginary things? I mean, we could have close to a utopia. Imagine a bunch of citizens walking around educated. not only about the place they live, but the rights that they were born with. Like always, I watch a lot of First Amendment audit videos. And I honestly believe that the citizens know the laws better than the police officers. Now, there's not all of them, don't get me wrong, but there are a large number of citizens, and it's growing, that know the laws and are standing up to police officers now, and the police don't know what to do. They don't. They don't even know the laws. They're not taught the laws. We're not taught our rights in school. We are taught how to go down to the bank and get a bank account. I was taught that in government. Or no, maybe that might have been econ. Yeah, you got to get your bank account. You got to go and, use the bank and fill out a
checkbook is balanced. That's right.
What, your rights? My government teacher tried to get me thrown out of school for freedom of speech, freedom of expression, for a shirt that I was wearing that did not break any of their rules, because she didn't like what I had on. And I took it off right after her class. I wore it specifically for her.
Dang.
Yeah, making a point right there.
Wow, music.
That's break music. Stick around. Who knows what we've got coming up for the second segment? Hell, who knows what the hell just went on for that first. But we do have more into the first half here of the Ironworx Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. We'll be right back.
It's not okay for you to be a weak loser. It's not okay. And the reason it's not okay is because you could be way more than that.
There's somebody sitting home right now. There's a young 10-year-old kid sitting home that don't have a father. And he's ready to join the gang. He's ready to give up. I'm telling you, don't give in. And don't ever give up.
It's a crime, an ethical crime, for you to allow all that necessary potential to go to waste. It hurts you, it hurts your family, it hurts the world. Really, really, it does.
Extendivite, a 7-herb combination made from garlic, cayenne, hawthorn, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, valerian, and milk thistle. Extendivite feeds our body with the right nutrients to keep us healthy. Just listen to what Arthur has to say.
I was just calling to tell you what a great product you have. I had used this about 10 years ago after I had congestive heart failure. And it fixed me up and got me going for the last 10 years. Lately, I've been having heart trouble again. So I placed another order because this was the only thing that ever worked. And I just wanted to let you know that you have a great product.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
We exist in the security and comfort of our worlds. Paved paths, lights, and manicured lawns give us peace of mind that our world has been tamed, and we are its master. But other worlds exist on the edge of our sight. On the edge of our awareness, the shadows move. The woods fill with the unblinking eyes of the nightmares our ancestors warned us about. Some of us have stumbled into these forgotten realms, whether on purpose or completely by surprise. I'm Brent Thomas. Join us on the Paranormal Portal Friday and Saturday nights from 10 p.m. to midnight Pacific Standard Time as we journey into the world of the paranormal phenomena.
Enter the Paranormal Portal. If you dare. No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR. Frequency Radio.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again."
The noise wasn't quite as bad, and we went right on up, and I saw darkness. I thought I was going to see the world, but we weren't quite high enough.
And welcome back to the second half of the first half of the Ironworx right here, Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. Josh, Walt, Zach hanging out with you this morning. I did kind of breeze over it real quick when Zach asked, but I do need to mention that as of Saturday, it was officially determined with a gender reveal that our bunny is female. So now we know for sure.
Did you
Because
have
you identify as a female?
Did you have? Oh, go ahead. I was wondering if you had like powder in the air. Did you have balloons? How'd you how'd you do your reveal?
We put a bunch of silverware inside a cannon, and then we just fired it off straight up in the air. You know, one of those safe gender reveal parties.
Yeah.
No, she needed a checkup. Just needed to run up to the vet, and because they're so fuzzy, it's almost impossible to just tell at a glance. So it takes somebody willing to get in there and dig around and find out. So we paid them to do that.
Yeah. Plus, that makes a big money.
We had to figure out if we needed to spay it or neuter it. So it's spaying, by the way.
Yeah. There you go.
Liz asked if we'd found the Mike Tyson clip.
I just saw that too. I did not find mine after the show Friday. I didn't really dig anymore.
Yeah, same.
We had quite the show Friday evening, which derailed any digging for any other thing except, preparation for the night ahead. Speaking of, did anyone have any, attacks during the weekend? Just wondering.
They were quite vocal.
Very vocal. Very vocal.
Very vocal. And I was given a bunch of Snickers and good tries and, laughing at them. But yeah, definitely. I don't want to sound crazy or anything, but yeah. I had a lot of weird thoughts that was just like, yep, I know that's you. Fuck off. It's wild, man. It really is. I can't wait. Jerry will be on the 22nd, folks. If you guys have any questions for Jerry or Anon.
Yes. Any experiences, anything that you want to clarify, any of that. Yeah, definitely. Please be there. Let people know about it.
And Anon is, that's a beacon of light that Jerry is not carrying around with him, but sharing with everybody. Anon, diagnosed schizophrenic. and he has a wife and children and a job and a life and isn't being attacked all the time anymore. Could you imagine that? This is like the cure for schizophrenia, is just acknowledging it for what it actually is. Imagine that. Just acknowledging the actual issue and the problem. It's a hard to believe one, but look at Anon. Once you do, you can function again. And I mean, it's not schizophrenic's fault. It's the medical industry. Just that's what they do with schizophrenics. You're schizophrenic. Here's a plethora of drugs. We're just gonna throw a bunch at you and see which ones stick. And they never address the actual problem. Try to ignore the problem. How many problems get better by just ignoring them? Not many. So yeah, this is huge what Jerry is doing, in my opinion. This is a big step in the right direction. Yeah, I'd love to see more people talking to Jerry, some of the bigger channels, to get this information out there. Really, it's that important. It really is, because it's not just affecting certain people. It affects all of us, whether we know it or not. So yeah, Jerry, keep it up, man. I can't wait to have him back.
Yeah, I think that's what makes Jerry's work so important, is because we really do just sort of live on the other side of a very thin veil. And sometimes we forget how thin that veil is and just how close we really are to things that are unexplainable and completely foreign to us. And the fact that these are things that we all have to deal with makes what he's doing that much more important. Go ahead, sir.
I was just going to say, and it's not like this is something new. I mean, people have been writing about these things for a long time. Just give them different gin. They have all different kinds of names.
Legion.
Yeah. Demons, whatever you want to call them. They're real, folks. And ignoring it doesn't make it go away. I mean, it may stop them from attacking you so much that, you hear them all the time just by ignoring them. But knowing where these thoughts are coming from is so powerful. It really has. My life has changed a lot since that show. The very first Jerry show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can ask the guys. I've been wanting to get Jerry on for a while.
Yes, you have, sir. You did prod me enough to make it happen. So
since he was on the first time, like ever since he was on, like we've got to get him back on, and then it was ever since.
Yep. Well, we did it live on the air. We couldn't get out of it this time, so he will be back. Again, I see Alan made a comment there in chat, and it would sound to me like Alan definitely is a show you would have a good shot at asking some questions straight to him, and anything to help, man, definitely. Because we all deal with various forms of this. It's, to me, it's just different levels of perception, different levels of awareness, different levels of how much you stick the bear in your dealings with this reality. I really expected full attacks on Friday night, and being that I was here alone, Michelle had gone to her sister's so they could do the garage sales early Friday morning. I was fully prepared, did all my preparations. I'll send you guys the Jack London How to Fight Monsters and Win article quite often. Those are techniques that I had actually worked out for myself pretty much to the T. the things he describes as far as protection and effective attacks back, not just defense against these
finding
attacks,
love,
but actual ways to attack them back. Basically, just like Anon was talking about, that the worst thing they hate than anything is to be laughed at, to be ridiculed, to be turned into paint bubbles and popped. So yeah, it was pretty hectic Friday night, but it was not nearly as bad as I expected. So I don't know if they just kind of realized I was prepared, or if they had other things going on the weekend. It was pretty hectic, a lot of crazy energy. So anyway, sorry, Zach, I stepped on you. What were you saying?
No, I'm just my apologies. I was trying to fit that in there. Love is a great weapon against
Absolutely. That is the key. That is the key. The heart is
love them, forgive them. They don't know what to do. They don't. They're just like that. Yeah. It's wild, folks. It really is. These things they're always there. They're probably sitting in the room with you right now. And see, if there were more people like Jerry, we might even have an idea of, I don't know, maybe how many there might be, or I don't know. But this it can't end with Jerry, is what I'm saying. This has to go on for, many decades to come. And this information can't be lost. This is one of those things that they can't wait to sweep under the rug.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And for him, like, to be putting his, everything out there like he does with this, and prepared to take it both, I mean, from what I saw, we've only known Jerry for the last 4 or 5 years, but from what I saw in our chat, apparently he was a whistleblower even when he was still a licensed practitioner. So he's been doing this under threat of his own livelihood, since he decided it was time for people to know this is what's going on, not just bow down to the party line of the pharmacy industry. So yeah, he's quite the warrior. Quite the warrior. I'm glad he was impressed with the the video we made for him. That gave me a good chuckle. That pumped him up. I like that. But yeah, definitely be back on the 22nd, guys. It's going to be exciting. Oh, sorry, I got lost reading Alan's comment. Alan, if you want to come on anytime, friend, and speak about any of this, you are more than welcome. More than welcome. Just
there is no door.
Let us know.
There's no door there. The hinges are off.
Screen is screen swinging in the breeze. At some point, we could probably make all these calls happen, perhaps after the top of the hour, perhaps, if it's not hard. It is hard sometimes when we have, no preparation, no plans or any of that.
It just depends on the best way to do it.
Yeah, we've had some weird audio thing going on, which, knock on whatever layers of fake wood that is.
Material.
Yeah, but definitely it seems like that horrible noise has gone away.
Yeah, it does usually come after that first break.
After that break, yeah. All right, Alan said he would like to do a presentation about it for a show in the future, and that would be amazing, sir. You let us know when you're ready. Looks like Alan's about to get his own apartment, or is looking at a time soon to have his own apartment. That's great, brother. Glad to hear that. Good to hear that.
Glad to hear the cat's owner came and picked up the cat. I know you'll miss the cat.
But I missed that earlier, too. I saw something starting about the cat, then I went to go back, and we got sidetracked. So you are now catless again?
I had just seen a couple posts on Facebook. Yeah, somebody come to drop off a cat, so they could do
I knew
some
the cat
cat
had
sitting.
arrived.
I think he and
Right.
Max were going to do some cat sitting, and Alan wasn't entirely sure the owner was going to actually come back for the cat, and he wasn't going to be stuck with some cat that he didn't know and didn't like and didn't really have any connection to, and was fully prepared to do what needed to be done to make sure that cat didn't become theirs. But it was a really good cat apparently, and Alan's going to miss the kitty, but the owner did come back for it. So,
there you go.
Just to let you know, I do pay attention to some things, though I don't always acknowledge it. You can't tell by looking at me, but I can be pretty observant sometimes.
So I listened to a Ronald Reagan speech over the weekend. Not sure why.
I was about to ask what, like, was your internet down and you had that saved on the phone? I'm just kidding. Go.
I'm just seeing so many correlations with, the high gas prices of the 70s and all this stuff that was going on then. And it's almost like they're redoing the playbook a little bit. So I was just going back to see, because Reagan was like the change, right? He was the change America needed to get us back on blah, 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 blah.
Well, he could do the parts really well. He'd have a lot of practice. I mean,
yeah, he's a great actor.
You act against a monkey and make it work, dude. You're pulling off some shit there. So
another president, we don't know his name was never really out there. That's not his real name. Bill Clinton's not his real name. Barack Obama is not his real name. I mean, we could go on and on and on. But he said something that just stuck with me in one of them. He was talking about our Declaration of Independence and how it differs from almost every other country out there. Because other people's, it's the government making these declarations. The government is giving people their rights. Where here, it is not the government that does it. It starts with we the people. It's the people letting the government know our rights and which ones we will not allow them to infringe upon. That is a huge difference. And I was never taught that in school. I didn't know that, we were like one of the only governments in the world where the people set the rules for the government at the very beginning. It wasn't the other way around. And that I can't believe I didn't know that. Even though I'd seen it, I've read it, we the people, it never, I never put two and two together.
In order to build a more perfect union. Not this perfect idea, but we're working towards something that's more perfect than it was. It's a constant effort.
If I hear one more, sorry, Josh.
There weren't that many countries fighting civil wars, even on the false pretext of ending slavery. Most countries were perfectly willing to continue slavery. And that's one of those things that sort of made America its beacon of freedom, was because we were one of those first people to sort of do away with it. I mean, there's countries that had slavery 50 years ago still. It's not like it's done and gone and America was the last one.
You can go buy a human today in Syria, supposedly. The slave trader markets are up and running again. After we went in there and helped the people, right?
Right. There's no slavery these days. We just need to end human trafficking. Because that's apparently different somehow. Amistad was not human trafficking. The giant slave ships aren't human trafficking. That's slavery. Slavery's done away with. Now it's human trafficking.
Yeah, I mean, and that still exists in this country a lot.
On a daily basis, yeah.
Just saying, a lot.
Would they just find a truckload of people on the northern side of the U.S.-Mexico border? Like 56
looking for this
people
story.
dead.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even imagine. I started putting myself in some of those people's shoes that survived that.
Uh-huh.
And I took those shoes off
quicker
than I tried to put them on.
Uh-huh.
The horror. Oh, no. That's okay. Boop. Somewhere else.
Yep.
Well, I have a left turn.
Please.
I have a left turn to make.
Oh, thank you.
It's actually a left turn into a U-turn. Liz, I saw as I was trying to go back and just catch up because, man, you guys, it's hard to keep up sometimes when you're sleepy. Sorry. But I saw Liz made a comment earlier about not watching Friday's show because she didn't want to be spooked. Oh, she went to bed. And trust me, I get it 100%. But I will say this. Even as a grown-ass man in the last, say, 8 years, within the last 8 years of what's been going on in my life, there have still been times when I know without a doubt I am protected, both by my own preparations, but also by, well, kind of like that story Jerry told us about one of the patients telling him he had a huge golden angel behind him. He would never be hurt. I was actually told something very similar by a lady who was taking some aura photographs that I was really good friends with over the years during my time with Project Awareness. And numerous times when she would take my aura photograph, she would point out this color means this color means this, and this white thing here is your protective spirit, call it your guardian angel, call it what you want to, but I rarely see one this huge. It is immensely powerful. And she told me that on numerous photographs. So I have a feeling that we all have that fully. And your access to that varies with both your receptiveness to it and your need to just have shit happen to you in this life. Because unfortunately, that's what we're here for, to have shit happen to us. You know, we can float around and be etherical power balls of energy in another realm, but in this realm, things happen. That's what it is. That's what time's for. It's for things to happen to us, against us, trials, tribulations, turning that rock in the tumbler so it becomes the gem. It's all about that tribulation. That's part of why we're here. But in that knowledge that they're also here and they're also fucking with us and they're also trying to steal our energy and fuck us up and suck us dry and all that, I feel that knowing and being more empowered by that knowledge and being ready for that battle, that's going to happen. It might hit you as a horrible nightmare you wake up from that you think, ooh, that was a bad nightmare. It might hit you as a terrifying chill up and down your spine as you walk through a dark room. It can hit you in all kind of ways. But it goes to me from them whispering to them screaming to them literally attacking. It varies. So I think knowing and preparing and reading that article, again, it's pretty powerful, but it's also got some terrifying shit in it because it doesn't pull any punches and it really kind of gets down to the brass tacks of this battle between good and evil that we are right in the middle of. And so I know I'm kind of ranting here, Liz, but I'm just wanting you to know that you're protected, lady. You are a powerful warrior. I've been feeling that since I met you. And yeah, that's a lot of scary stuff, but I think you're more than capable of handling it. And the story of Jerry and what Anand shared with us, and again, just the knowledge base of I got this. I can kick these things ass. I can Laugh them into non-existence. Literally, it's that easy. So I'll stop ranting. Love you, Liz. I also sent you a DM there on Twitter if you want to go check that out.
Jerry had said something on Friday that, again, like I said, I've been thinking about the whole show just a lot over the weekend and just since it happened. And it was about when I told him that story about the Masonic Lodge, and he was saying how the good ones aren't allowed to interfere. But what happens when they do? Do they get in trouble? Because something interferes. And I don't believe at all that it was a bad thing. Me not becoming a Freemason at 11 years old was a good thing.
Right. As much as we're told or felt or whatever that's part of it, is that our free will is part of this whole battle and why we are so important in that battle. I do think they also have some sort of will, because I mean we hear about stars in the Enoch story that chose to not take their anointed path, their assigned path in the sky, and so they were fucking cast into the pit of whatever. And that's a star that made a decision to do something against the creator. So these protectors probably can make that decision. Okay, I know what I'm about to do is going to commit me to whatever the equivalent for them would be of punishment. But it's important that Zack doesn't go to these fucking people's side and get fucked up, because he's a powerful warrior we need on our side. Oh, Lord, there's a break. I'll shut up.
It's because Zack is a powerful warrior. But I think it's going to wrap it up for the first half of the Ironworks. Stick around. We still got the whole another hour coming up for you. We may even open up the flatline, which has less of a delay than other call-in options. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ella, and I'm 10 years old. I'm one of the millions of children born to parents suffering from the sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for oneself, the attention span of a goldfish, and a strong belief in government and the mainstream media. It is estimated that 1 out of every 2 children are being raised by parents infected with the sheeple virus. But there is a cure. For as little as 19 cents per day, you can become a TFR supporter and help children like me get their daily dose of truth. Together, we will make sure every child has protection from deception.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state. I only need 11,000 votes. Fellas, I need 11,000 votes. Give me a break. Let me handle it. Don't say that, you stupid son of a bitch. Let me handle it. I was going to show them how good I am. Let me handle it. Let me handle it. This is easy. Let me handle it. And I made the mistake. Why would you give up a primetime show? My life was so simple, and then I did it, and look what happened. Now we got to make it great again. Our country's embarrassed. The whole world is laughing at us. But is there any place better to be than a Trump rally? Crooked Hillary Clinton and the Democrats. How would you like to have her as your wife? What kind of a sick, perverted mind does that? Bill Clinton, he's living in fear. Other than that, how are things going? Global pandemic in the middle of the pandemic. Where's your mask? Where's your mask? You have to remember, where's your mask? Where's your mask? Where's your mask? Where's your mask? You have to remember, you're not supposed to get set up. Let me handle it. Don't say that, you stupid son of a bitch. Let me handle it. I was going to show them how good I am. Let me handle it. Let me handle it. This is easy. Let me handle it. And I made the mistake. The person who's very low key, impressed is not Tree Fairley. She's really tough and she's really, really smart. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
You see,
This is a simple meme that you would find on the internet, but this meme is real. The Green New Deal surprise, it serves China and China only. You know, really what all this is going to do is help this man out the most. President Xi of China. It's sad. Really, 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 really sad. China. It's sad. Really, 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 really sad.
Let me handle it. Don't say that, you stupid son of a bitch. Let me handle it. I was going to show them how good I am. Let me handle it. Let me handle it. This is easy. Let me handle it. And I made the mistake. You owe me.
You must unite what is inside us.
We are TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
It is Tuesday, my dudes.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt, and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cozy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt, and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the planet. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
And welcome back to the first half of the second half of the Ironworx, kicking off right now. I really should go get that bunny out. It's time for her to be up and out and about.
Oh, we've lost Josh, everybody. So say bye to Josh. But you can certainly go bink it up. I understand.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good day.
Yeah, dogs just don't quite know how to handle it. It's not like they get a whole lot less affection. It's just that we have to block the kitchen off, and they're just not allowed to come and go freely. And that, I think, is what really fucks them up.
Right.
So they just get super upset, super offended that they can't just come and go as they please. So far, Layla is the best dog with the bunny. Esme was actually a little freaked out. She's the one I figured would just kind of just snatch it up real quick and a couple quick shakes and it's done. So we were introducing them slowly, but Bunny started sniffing her feet. She starts backing up, freaking out that the cat's going to touch her feet. And pretty soon she spazzed out because the bunny just won't leave her alone.
That's great. That's epic.
And Shibby just sits there and looks at it. Not a big response, but he'll look down at the bunny and he'll look up at you like, you want me to take care of that? You seem to have a bit of an infestation and you don't want to do anything about it, but I'll take care of it for you. I'll fix it. No problem. But they do all right.
So On a Plane wants us to start an hour later in the morning and an hour earlier on Friday evening. Duly noted.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Duly. Yeah, wouldn't it be epic for all of us involved?
Would be awesome if I could do that.
Yeah. This really all revolves around our buddy Josh here. He has a real job that requires his actual presence. That's not, but we would much rather him be at this full time as much as he would and not have to worry about that life credit bullshit. Maybe one day.
Christ, it's getting to the point where it's almost not worth driving in and back and forth. Gas is so high. Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Pretty ridiculous, man. There's something else in chat. What was it? Alan, I wasn't doubting you at all. I just was talking to you, brother. That's all. I know you have this. It was Jeremy saying he had quit making videos after making a video on the subject we discussed Friday. He actually had been attacked quite a bit. Yeah, that's kind of how it all goes down in this thing. Once you do become aware enough and in that burning desire to share that word or that message or that knowledge, yeah, it's definitely, it lights up their little circuit board and they come a running. To me, it definitely always, as I said, I thought Friday for sure would be really incredibly filled with attacks. And I really was surprised at how good it went. So, yeah, you never know. Could just be trying to trick me. Wait till my guard's down.
Mm-hmm.
Or attacking someone outside my, my realm of protection. That is also, sadly, unfortunately, something that is part of this. That they will go after people who don't have protection and don't know at all what's going on. And then, accidents happen. Yeah, well, they happen around me quite often. But anyway, so yeah, brother, understand completely. And just like I told Liz, and I said all that to Liz, full of love and knowing that Liz is, her own person, can make her own decisions and can definitely avoid these things in any way she wants to, as far as it's your path. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just here showing you guys what I've done to get to this point. And man, you don't want to be fucked up like I am. So don't listen to me for damn sure. But yeah, the attacks do come. Preparation to me is much better than sudden, oh no, what's this? And then, yeah, terror in the night. I don't know.
So, David Weiss sent me a video. He was asking me what I thought about it. It was about the Thunderbolts guys, and they joined up with another team, and they're working on something called Project Sapphire.
Okay.
They're trying to make a fusion reaction, fusion reactor. And of course, they're basing it off of a heliocentrical model. And they're assuming that the sun is this big burning ball of gas.
Wait, I thought that's not the Electric Universe people? I may be thinking of a different group.
Yeah, no, these are the Electric Universe people.
Okay.
But they're still thinking that the sun is fusion.
I thought that whole thing was based around it being a transformer. It's like Martin, damn it, the guy in the car, the DeLorean talking about it. But what's his name?
Bob Lazar. Eric Dollard.
Eric Dollard.
Dollard, thank you. So yeah, that whole idea I thought tied into it for them. I conflate a lot of people's research because, well, I do. I mean, dude, so much crap can only stay in so many compartments and not flood over into another one. So yeah, I'm sure I conflated the ideas because to me that's logical. Even if you think it's floating out there in some fucking void somehow. How? Anyway, go. What are they doing? I'm sorry. This frustrating me now that they're doing this.
Yeah, and I told them exactly what you were saying just now, Nuclear fusion is not possible, people. There is no amount of electricity you're going to put into a ball of gas. It's going to make it just constantly burn. It's not going to take over and just start burning itself. You need an outside source. There is something up there that is creating the sun. The sun is not just a burning ball all by itself. There has to be a power source. That's why Eric Dollard said it's a transformer from another dimension. And he had asked me about that. He's like, could it be? Because I was saying pretty much the exact same thing, just in a lot longer words and using, explaining it more. But he asked me, would a transformer from another dimension make sense? And I told him a transformer from another dimension makes perfect sense. So he went out and I think I sent it to you, Josh, in Ironworx there. He went out and made a T-shirt at Teespring. It's got a picture of the sun up in the corner, and it says a transformer from another dimension makes perfect sense. Good times for all underneath it.
That is fucking amazing. Oh,
So I'm gonna have to
get
go
back to the picture and see it. Hold on. Josh may have stepped away to prepare himself. Let me share this.
I'm here trying to figure out the best way to get it shared.
I got it up if you want to show me.
Perfect.
I'm here.
Well, again, that's not.
Oh, if I talk, I'll be on screen. So I'll talk and talk. You talk. Oh, that's my favorite little font almost, I think, from them. If you look at it really close, you might see it's very familiar. I love that shit, man.
But yeah, nuclear, and now they're saying the Space Force is going to send a nuclear fusion satellite up into space. We've never created nuclear fusion. They say they're going to do it within 5 years. You know what? Create nuclear fusion first. Then tell me what you're going to do with it and where you're going to send it. Because you've been telling me you're going to create nuclear fusion now for how long? It's been a long time.
Well, they got to get that cure to cancer figured out first, man. That's important. I'm sorry. I'm being a facetious asshole. Go.
But yeah, it's not pot. They're trying to recreate something that is not done in nature. It's not possible. Physics declares, no, this does not work. And the way they were doing it was ignorant. They had an anode and cathode inside the vacuum chamber. That isn't going to work. Are you trying to say there's an anode and cathode for the sun? I mean, it's just so frustrating that these people who are getting all this funding and all this stuff to do and they're not seeing it. They're not. It's this whole damn globe propaganda nonsense that has retarded their brains. They are literally retarded because of all this nonsense that we've been taught our whole lives. It's not really that hard to understand once you can scrape all that shit off that they've been piling on us for all these years, your whole life. Nature is very simple. Very, very simple. They convolute it and make it all big giant equations and all this stuff and, math with a bunch of letters in it. All that shit. That's just a distraction. Now it's great. I mean, you need a lot of this stuff if you're going to build a transformer and run it through all these wires and this and that. Yeah, it helps to know math because then you get the electricity exactly how you want it. You know, you get it coming out at 110 volts and all that kind of stuff. And it doesn't blow up your equipment. So the math part is important when it comes to technology, but in nature, that's really neither here nor there. It's all trying to do the same thing. Potentials are trying to equalize. That's it. High potential goes to low potential. What stops that from ever happening? You breathing, trees breathing, the earth breathing, all these different things going on around us will never let entropy fully take place. That's like the end of everything, entropy. And another thing that stops it is an outside power source. We have a positive from above somehow. Don't know how, no clue. And it gets, less potential. I don't use the word negative anymore. There is no negative anymore. There's a less than our positive source at the top, at the bottom. I don't know who creates these things. We can't know. Can't go up there and touch it, feel it. Does it start at the firmament? I don't know. Does it go beyond that? We don't know these things. But we know what it requires to create these things. Like nuclear fusion, you can't just have it happen. Nuclear fusion is the exact same thing as the ionosphere, which they cannot recreate in a lab. This whole heliocentric model bullshit has retarded our scientific community to the point that they can't see the obvious right in front of their faces.
I give a quick shout out to Lucas. We were just talking about you on Friday.
And Lucas. What's up, brother? Good to see you.
Much love, Lucas. I've been thinking about you a lot lately, man.
You have been on our mind, friend.
Hope that winter out there is treating you well.
Yep.
I
hope harvest went well. Summer was kind to you. And I hope the fam is doing well also.
Hit us up, man, whenever you have some time to hang out.
Hope things down there in Australia aren't quite so chaotic as they were last time we spoke.
But to me, a transformer from another dimension makes perfect sense. I agree with Eric Dollard. Nuclear fusion. Oh my goodness. Okay. Hank's got to go inside. Oh, there's Min right there. That's
a nucleoid explosion. Wait, what happened? Man, trying to play catch up in chat, and it's nigh impossible. Impossible. Sending you lots of love, Liz. I know it's rough. Trust me. We all go through this. So we love you, lady. Big time. Hope you feel it heading that way.
Absolutely.
And I got to quit reading chat. All right. Damn it. I'm doing it again.
Okay. Have you guys heard about this? NASA's tiny capstone spacecraft now flying to the moon on its own?
No. This I missed.
Yeah. It's from 18 hours ago. Never heard about this. Never saw it on the mission planning docket, or, not that I read it, but.
I was going to say, you got that handy.
Yeah, this is by Elizabeth Hall, and this is space.com. The mission will settle in for a long journey following a crucial and successful spacecraft burn Monday. NASA's capstone is now on its journey to the moon on its own. The 55-pound capstone microsatellite finished its final burn today to set itself on a trajectory that will take it to Earth's celestial companion by the end of this year. What? Didn't it take the astronauts like 3 days to get there? Just saying. The complex operation
It's hurting my head in so many ways, Zach. I'm going to have to take my glasses off and rub my temples on this one. Oh, man. Okay, so number one, capstone. Really? I mean, you're making this up, right? You're not really reading that in the story. Capstone, truly, is what you're reading. Okay. Holy shit. Okay. Anyone? Anyone? Anyone?
And this microsatellite's equipped with fuel to burn. Is that what I'm understanding? Capstone has fuel and boosters and all this stuff on this microsatellite.
Well, you're not going to believe this, but it has an electron rocket.
I'm sorry, what?
Wait, there was one?
There is now. The mission operates.
This is like is this the Onion? You're reading this from the Onion.
No, this is space.com, and it's not April 1st. I don't get this.
Oh, man, I may need to take this little campus in this room. Okay, keep going.
The capstone mission, I'm just going to keep calling it. Every time they say mission, I'm going to throw capstone in there.
Please, because you cannot write this. Oh, my God. Go. Oh.
The capstone mission, operated by NASA, launched to space atop the Electron rocket of the small...
I thought Tesla had the self-driving cars, and so NASA beats them with the self-driving rocket? What the hell? Go.
Electron rocket, the small satellite launcher company Rocket Lab, and is the company's first beyond Earth orbit. The company celebrated the milestone burn, which took place at 2:56 a.m. in post on Twitter and with a YouTube live stream of the successful burn. Feels like something epic should be said, but all I can say is perfect moon mission success. That was Peter Beck.
Okay, so here's what we have. Electron is the name of the vehicle. So it's not like some sort of engine that uses electrons.
Okay,
right.
Thank you. That's why I was going to wait. There was one? Because I know I watch Star Trek a lot, and go.
Yeah, no, I had to do something. Wait, there's what the fuck is an electron rocket? Get the hell out of here. So I had to look it up. And it's Electron is a 2-stage reuse, partially recoverable orbital launch vehicle developed by Rocket Lab, an American aerospace company with a wholly owned New Zealand subsidiary. Interesting.
Rocket Lab. Didn't they do that physics game with the doll and you throw it down the stairs and it breaks apart? I think that was them.
I thought that. Never mind.
So the final burn was expected to accelerate the photon capstone duo to 24,500 miles per hour prior to separation. Now the microwave oven-sized CubeSat will face a 4-month journey, at times getting as far as, get this, 810,000 miles from Earth.
How many miles per hour again there, sir?
24,500.
Okay. I can't even go.
So what you're saying is, like, in 10 hours, they would have gone roughly 240,000 miles?
Yes, and it's going to take
6 months.
They'll get there by the end of the year.
It's going to take them 6 months to go 240,000 miles?
Well, no, it's saying at times it will get as far as 810,000 miles from Earth before gravity swings it closer to the planet and moon again. Because that makes sense. If you have to go 238,000 miles, it's important to make that big 810,000 mile trek around the outside edge first.
So it's orbiting everything, not just the moon? I'm so fucking confused right now. I'm really grappling trying to understand this story. Go. I'm not even going to read with you because I'm really wanting to understand this from a listener's experience, and this is breaking my brain. Go.
Okay.
Zach had to say an embrace for this one. Okay. All right, go.
Engineers picked a long and winding road for Capstone because the circuitous path will save on fuel. What? A necessity, since Electron is only 59 feet tall and doesn't have large fuel tanks compared with other boosters.
The gratuitous route uses less fuel?
going longer is less. Well, I mean, that's like buying brand names. That saves you money in the long run.
Right.
Sorry, that's my mother-in-law's favorite quote. Oh, go. I'm going to mute up. That's something best.
So it's at one point it's going to be over 3 times the distance of the moon. Just saying, folks. Keep that in mind. The next major milestone will take place on November 13th when Capstone moves into a near rectilinear halo orbit around the moon. The pathway, a proving ground for NASA's forthcoming Gateway space station, will see Capstone take an elliptical path. Capstone, Gateway. Ooh. It will zoom within 1,000 miles of the lunar surface at its closest and 43,500 miles at its furthest. So it's going to be going around the moon between 1,000 and 45,000 miles.
Okay, so, but it's going to go 800,000 miles to get there.
Yes.
Okay,
810,000 miles away from Earth.
Oh, so
not like a
I
slow
got
trip.
I got it. So it's going to go way out beyond.
It's only like 540,000 miles beyond the moon.
But it'll still be within Earth's atmosphere. Is that how this all is that the punchline to the joke?
Oh my goodness. Should the little spacecraft show the stability of this orbit, it will be an important keystone in the Artemis program.
Capstone, Keystone, Gateway. Y'all kiss my ass. I am not believing this.
Along the way, Capstone also plans navigation and communication tests, including communications with NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, which has been photographing the moon in high definition since 2009. You just don't get to see the pictures. No, it doesn't say that. But I think that's the end of the article, yeah. And like all these mainstream news outlets, there's no comment section. You don't even get the option to comment and have them.
They're catching on. They're catching on. Can't let them damn flat earthers have access to your comments where everybody can read it. Start thinking independently. Holy shit. The flat earthers make some points, don't they? Just look into this a little bit. We've been looking into it. You've been looking into it. Stick around. We've got more stuff that we've been looking into coming up right after this.
If you concentrate solely on your career, you can get a long way in your career. And I would say that that's a strategy that a minority of men preferentially do. That's all they do. They work like 70, 80 hours a week. They go flat out on their career. They're staking everything on the small probability of exceptional status in a narrow domain. It may be that unidimensionality is the price you have to pay to be exceptional at one thing, right? Because if you're going to be something like a genius level mathematician, you're in your lab all the time, you're working 70 hours a week or 80 hours a week, you're smart, you're dedicated, you're unidimensional, and that's how you get to beat all the other people who are doing that. It's the only way. But the problem is you don't get a life. Now, well, first of all, you're a rare person, and second, you're going to pay for it. But fine, more power to you. But it's a risky business to do that. You sacrifice a lot for it.
Hey everyone, it's Chris Gio, founder of Truth Frequency Radio and host of Beyond the Veil. The mainstream media and establishment are running scared right now, and they've prominently featured truthfrequencyradio.com as number 89 on the federal government's hit list, also known as the fake news list, which is essentially a list of sites slated for censorship on Facebook, YouTube, Google, and other social media. Now is the time for you to get involved. Share your favorite TFR shows far and wide on forums and social media. Tell your friends and family about your favorite shows. If you're a business owner, get in touch with us to feature your product or service right here on TFR. And if you haven't done so already, become a TFR supporter now and get unlimited commercial-free downloads in high quality. Visit truthfrequencyradio.com/signup. Thank you for making TFR the leader in independent and uncensored talk radio. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
Greetings, Earth Explorers. My name is Brooks Agnew, and I am your host on X Squared Radio every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Truth Frequency Radio Network. This is where the past meets the future, We explore the mysteries of the universe and of the earth. We might go a little past your imagination, but have no fear. You will be safely traveling with us. We will dissolve the propaganda of dangerous people with dangerous plans for the planet. We will discuss the latest technologies and challenges for humankind. We will discover the safest place for you to stand when the thinkings and doings of mankind come flying apart, and how you can be one of the people that helps put it back together. Join us.
We are TFR.
My faith in destiny is all I need to prevail.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Start your day off bright and shiny. Get up off your little hiney and begin your happy day.
That one's for you, Lucas. Welcome back. Fourth and final segment of the Ironworks kicking off right now. Josh, Walt, and Zach hanging out with you. TruthFrequencyRadio.com, TFRLive.com. We are also broadcasting on YouTube, Odyssey, DLive, a few other places. What the hell? That's what I wanted. I wonder where my fire transition got hung up. But we're good now.
Did you hit the button? Are we on Rockfin?
I'm 99% sure I hit the button.
Did you hit it twice?
Nope, just the once, but I do see Tom Nixon over there, so I assume that we're live.
All right. Tom. How's it going, Tom?
Yeah, I was in earlier, and then somehow I had way too many. I had stuff still open from Friday's show, like Mace Energy, Nobis, Nag, Elaine Pagos. I've got all that still open because I am digging deep to all those areas that Jerry and I pointed us. Definitely. Dude, when he showed that picture, y'all really don't understand how my brain broke. I've told the story of the thing that came out of my fan when I was literally standing in a crib, probably less than 2 years old. Head, body, long, just that was it. I always thought it was a Chinese dragon when I finally saw a picture of one later in life. But there was no doubt that it was real, that it came out of the middle of my fan, looked around, and went out the door. Out through the wall, out of my trailer. It was like, yeah, no doubt what he showed us in that picture. So I've been looking at that whole thing all weekend, off and on, too. Every time I get on my computer, I look at those pictures. Hey, I'm ranting. Shut up. Copy. But yes, hello, Tom. As I try to get back, because I had apparently shut the fan of the rock.
So have you seen these people that are making flying cars now?
Dude, you're just making everything up this morning. Oh, yeah.
It says eVTOL Leo Coupe is a jet turbine-propelled 3-seater flying car. Pete Bitar of Electric Jet Aircraft and Carlos Salaf of Salaf Automotive look to manifest the flying car seen in science fiction movies, those with flat wings, eccentric design, and high-speed propulsion. Let's see what's going on. Spring of 2020, it's a blah, 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 blah. Come on. I'm just looking for dates and... I mean, it looks cool, but we've seen all this stuff before. Allowing it to fit inside a 2-car garage, so it's 10 foot by 20 foot. It enables it to be privately owned, used as an air taxi, and as a vehicle in any place where space is limited and ground infrastructure is underdeveloped or non-existent. They're not going to allow people to fly these things around. I mean, you'd have to have a pilot's license. We can't even keep people from smashing into shit when their wheels are on the ground.
Weren't dumbasses getting run over in crosswalks while they're on their phones because they're not paying attention? Like walking. Motherfuckers can't walk without running into light poles or getting run over by
but now
cars.
the car takes care of that for you. Haven't you seen the commercials?
Oh, yeah.
Man, come on.
Uh-huh. Now the car just going to drive you into a wall or drive you into oncoming traffic. Sweet.
So it's saying...
Well, I mean, they did do away with Roe versus Wade. They got to thin the herd somehow.
Oh, I remember what the other one was. CO2. Did you hear about...
I've heard of CO2. Yeah, what?
the radicalized Supreme Court, as Biden likes to call them, have declared that the federal government has no right putting any kind of restrictions on CO2, as CO2 is a natural gas created naturally in nature. A volcano gives off more CO2 erupting than all humans do for a year. It's about time some common sense, and it's all just common sense, but it's crazy that they're doing it to me. You know, they've gone this far to the left and they're, it was working. They were getting all this climate change and all this stuff was, at least on the books is real. Now they're saying, even if climate change is real, you don't get to do this anymore. You're not going to tax us for breathing.
Vesuvius damn near killed us. Shout out Voynich.
But yeah, they've tested they've built 3 of these flying cars, so don't expect them to be out on the floors soon for sale or anything like that. And they're undergoing component testing and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, there's people out there trying to make flying cars. Now, I did see a solar-powered electric vehicle real quick for $26,000 that is being manufactured right now by some company. Solar-powered car. Don't know how they're doing that.
Only $26,000. What a bargain. By some unknown car manufacturer. What's the worst that could happen?
You just bought a $26,000 paperweight.
Right. Or death machine.
Yeah.
Alan was saying he was working at a radio station in 2000 and saw a story about the coming flying car revolution. Thought for sure about 2020 we'd all be chatting around. Yeah, so I get you, brother. We were supposed to have our jetpacks by now as well, as we ate lunch on the moon, I believe. Is that correct?
I think it was more like Saturn by now. Weren't we
Saturn by now, but like back in 2000, would have been nothing to go lunch at the moon, right? Yeah. For sure.
Speaking of no-name car companies that were nothing more than glorified death machines, Saturn.
So how's Saturn doing?
Right.
Go.
God, I love it. Oh, man. And I didn't see, there's a comet right now I had seen. Should be able to see it with a small telescope. And it's telling us everything about the early workings of the universe. They say this about every comet. It's not like they go get to touch the comet. They're looking at the colors coming off of it. They said it's between.
They're looking back in time. When you look in space, Zach, here's the thing. See, starlight tries to travel a gazillion trillion miles. That's a gazillion trillion. That's a special NASA number. Copyright, I think, 1983. It has to get here. You're looking back in time. So that's how that all would work. Come on, man. Don't you read these stories?
Where
there's stars older than the fucking galaxy, or wait, older than the universe. There are stars older than the universe. Zachary, come on, man.
I know I shared it. Where did I share it?
Apparently,
okay, here.
I'm looking for it actually right now. Where is it? Or is it just one you read like I
looks like they're going to be debuting the solar-powered car in Scotland. Both Scotland and London, England, apparently. Both where they're going to debut the solar-powered car. Good. Thank you.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense since there's so much sun.
I just made that up.
Oh, okay.
Liz made a comment that, that won't work in Scotland. I thought, that'd be a funny place to try to debut a solar-powered car.
Yeah, well.
Now I found this article and I had to laugh. So it's talking about the comet. A giant comet twice the size of Mount Everest is heading for Earth. It's not going to come close. Don't worry. We're not going to get destroyed by the comet.
So it's not really headed for Earth.
No, not at all.
Okay. Just making sure.
But it says, how big is this comet? And
is it twice the size of Mount Everest?
How big is it? Oh, wait, that's not the game we're playing.
So this is some broad estimating.
So let me get this straight. The comet that is twice the size of Mount Everest and headed for Earth is not really headed for Earth, and we're not sure how big it is?
No,
listen to this. NASA, according to NASA solar system ambassadors, what? Eddie Irizarry and Kelly Kaiser-Witt?
I want to be a solar ambassador.
I know. What
and who's going to tell me I'm not?
Well, I bet Eddie Irizarry and Kelly Kaiser-Witt would have something to say about it. So they claim it's estimated that the comet falls between a range of 11 and 100 miles. Okay, remember that. That's about what? 10 to 1. Close. We'll say 9 to 1.
Uh-huh.
9 to 1, right?
That's 18 to 161 kilometers for you other tenors. Go.
Okay, so we have 9 to 1 on the size of the actual comet. The tail of dust and gases behind it is estimated to be anywhere between 81,000 and 500,000 miles. That's more like a 6 to 1. So how do you have the comet being 9 to 1 and the tail being 6 to 1? I mean, you're pretty good at math. So how are the estimations 9 to 1 and 6 to 1 on the size? Aren't the comet and the tail like always right next to each other? Does this make any sense to you guys?
No, I thought they were generally pretty, close.
Yes, scale works in scale, usually. Like my finger, I have 2 fingers that I'm looking at. And as I move them away, they appear to get smaller at the same rate. My middle finger doesn't all of a sudden start looking a lot longer than my first finger. They pretty much stay that same shape the whole time. Who is writing this shit? I'm going to call out, what are their names? Eddie Irizarry and Kelly Kaiser-Witt. You guys need to check on your math before putting shit out like this.
So,
explain your solar math. Is it because your calculators are so powerful?
Oh, there's an ambassador algorithm you have to throw in there. When you're an ambassador, things change a little bit.
So they're the ones that are going to meet up with the little green people when they show up? Is that their job? And I thought
Well,
Eddie Izzard, I thought he was
they
doing
are
a
the
lot
solar
before
system's
after the
ambassador. The solar system. So if there is ancient life or life on like, Neptune or Uranus or any of these other, we're their ambassadors. We're ambassadors for the whole solar system.
Wait. They're not sun ambassadors. They're solar system ambassadors. Oh, that's horseshit.
NASA Solar System ambassadors.
Because Earth is part of that, and I never had to say. It's one thing if you want to claim to be from the sun. And like, look, I'm an ambassador from the sun. I'm a solar ambassador. We come from the sun and we come in peace, where we have very powerful calculators and cars that go for a long time. But to claim to be an ambassador of the entire solar system, well, that's just ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. I'm the ambassador of Earth now.
Yep, me too. I'm going to put it out there as we broadcast into the ether that any and all intergalactic beings are to come to me first as Earth's ambassador, right here to the Ironworks, because we are the Earth's true ambassadors. Don't listen to Eddie Izzard and the rest of them. They don't know what they're talking about.
I just have to say, when I went to the article, because I wanted to see what kind of image they may be throwing at us with this, something just stood out in the middle of the article there, mid-paragraph, talking about the size earlier. That means it could be considered to fall among the biggest comets ever discovered so far, such as Hale-Bopp and Bernardinelli Bernstein comet, one letter short there of the Bernsteins. It just popped out really huge, I guess because I'm keyed to that word. I don't know.
That is strange.
That I've never heard of such a huge comet.
I've never heard of the Ghirardelli Bernstein.
That I've never heard of that, because I kind of do pay attention. I knew all about old Hale-Bopp and impending doom headed our way. But yeah.
It's not in Halley's right there. Isn't Halley's a big comet?
I don't think so. I thought it was just
I think it's just bright. And it comes back every 80 years or so. Somehow doesn't ever escape that 80-year orbit out there in the far distant reaches. Somehow it's captured again by our powerful sun. It comes back around again.
But only a fraction of the size of the Ghirardelli Bernstein comet.
Yeah.
I feel like we got to be coming close. 9 minutes, not very close at all. I don't have work today, so what do you fellas want to do after the show? Shall we do an extended broadcast, do a little shooting?
Let's shoot scene. Well, we didn't play together the whole weekend off. You guys be proud of us. We usually do some playing during the week sometime, at least me and Zach do. But yeah, we didn't play together at all this weekend. Maybe few minutes, and that was about it.
Yeah, I didn't play too.
I didn't either. I was being very significant other with my significant other.
I was on the division a little bit.
Were you?
Cool.
Yeah, trying to get that lower level guy up a little bit, as opposed to the one that just jumped straight to New York and to level 30.
Hey, we do have a few minutes left, and I did see this story and dropped it and thought, hey. And then after I thought that, I was like, wait, didn't we just talk about this like last year?
To which?
What we got?
Shout out Boston Ray's Mudflood Adventures. If you're unfamiliar, go check out his channel, doing super mega long streams.
Absolutely great stuff. You were being mentioned there in channel or in chat earlier, actually. Absolutely. But a breakthrough algorithm developed in the U.S. can predict crimes a week ahead. Dated July 1st, 2022.
Wait. Say that again. I'm sorry.
A breakthrough algorithm developed right here in the good old U.S. of A. can predict crimes a week ahead of time. No, Tom Cruise is not in the picture. And yet
So
it
they
sounds very...
that shooting in Chicago on the 4th of July.
If only they'd have put the algorithm towards it. I'm trying to get to the basics. How does this work? Okay, here we go. It divides a city into 1,000 square feet tiles and uses the historical data on violent and property crimes to predict future events.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
Well, I mean, sure, you can't really do the pre-crime stuff, but shouldn't it really, really cut down on your response time?
You should be sitting there waiting for
right.
the guy to
You just wait for them to commit the crime, and then you can nab them. You don't want to do the pre-crime stuff, but you should already be there waiting. If you know he's going to do it, just show up and wait for him. Be there. Whatever.
Soon to be rolled out in the great cities like New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., L.A., San Francisco, Portland. Oh, my goodness.
Also, here's the abstract. Policing efforts to thwart crime typically rely on criminal infraction reports, which implicitly manifest a complex relationship between crime, policing, and society. As a result, crime prediction and predictive policing have stirred controversy, with the latest AI-based algorithms producing limited insight into the social system of crime. Here, we show that while predictive models may enhance state power through criminal surveillance, let me read that again. Here we show that while predictive models may enhance state power through criminal surveillance, they will also enable surveillance of the state by tracing systemic biases in crime enforcement. Also, we can watch the cops with this too. We introduced a stochastic, inference algorithm, lots of words, that forecasts crime by learning spatio-temporal dependencies from event reports, which with a mean area under the receiver operating characteristic curve of give or take 90% in Chicago, for crimes predicted. This is just going on and on and on, but you get the idea. Yeah. Giving the state a little more power is fine, as long as we can watch them with it, right? Sure. I'm sure it'll work that way.
But who is the one that gets to look at the crimes that are supposedly committed? Is it just a certain group to see this? Or do we all get to see these so-called future crimes? Because then that would be, okay, so we get to see the crimes that the government is going to commit as well. All these politicians that get caught doing things. Are we going to see those crimes as well? Will they be?
What's the algorithm for corruption?
Crime.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, brother.
I was going to say, what's the algorithm for corruption? And why don't we run it through there first? If we can get the AI to find and root out the corruption and stuff in the government, then maybe we'll talk about pre-crime for the private citizens.
I dropped the actual abstract there in our chat. I'll mark it in the, I will link it in the show description so you guys can peruse your future state surveillance. Minuscule report. I love it, Brian. Thank you. We may have a show title, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Wait, what happened with Yellow Submarine? I'm so confused.
Gotta say, I like crystal hunting.
Yeah, no, it was epic that you guys were sharing with us Friday there on the show. Did you clean up some this weekend?
Show you some of this stuff. Yeah, we cleaned up a bunch of them.
Yeah, dude, that's some great stuff already. I can't imagine now. You probably uncovered more when you cleaned it than you knew you had, huh?
Oh, so much more. Yeah,
I knew that.
I'm starting to get an eye for near like the second half of us being there. It's all about finding those little points. The part that looks like, the perfect symmetry, top of the crystal. Those are the things that were like on top of the ground, but just barely sticking up. And a lot of them had dirt, like, because there was a bunch of crystal points together with a bunch of dirt packed down inside of there. So you really didn't get to see you'd see like one point sticking out, but as you pulled out that big rock and you cleaned it, like 10 more points appear that you didn't even know were there. It's like these crystal clusters that just all grew together. It looks like a bunch of teeth, really, all lined up. But with, instead of crowns on top, they have these points. It's just amazing. We found pictures of crystals growing on human skulls. Like the whole brow was covered in crystals. The parts of the jaw were all covered in crystals. They're amazing. They're just, I don't get it yet. I still don't understand how they happen and how it does it so quickly. But I think there's a recipe out there to grow. I mean, Hermes Trismegistus.
It's a salt bridge.
The emerald tablets of Thoth. Supposedly he grew those tablets. He didn't find a big giant chunk of emerald and carve them out. He grew those tablets, supposedly, according to the writings on the tablets. So yeah, I mean, there's got to be a way to do this stuff. Sorry, I'm rambling. I know we're about to get out of here. I love y'all.
It is. We got about 30 seconds, 45 seconds till we hear the music. Shout out to everybody in chat. You guys have been awesome this morning. Shout out to everybody there on Rockfin. Well, Tom. No, there's 8 of you over there watching. I see Tom in chat, though. I guess stick around. I don't know. Maybe we'll end the stream and start another, or
I was going to suggest maybe that. Although, I still haven't changed my internet plan to a new company because I'm in the current fight with my current one because I'm not getting what I signed up for at all. Sorry, we'll figure it out. Love you guys.
Love you guys. We will see you right back here on Friday morning for more Ironworx, right here, truthfrequencyradio.com, TFRlive.com. We love you. Have a great rest of your week. Be good. Be well.